Okay, so today this is dried for a couple of weeks. I'm going to show you how to go about trimming this. All right. So the first thing I like to do when I'm making a large plate like this is I really like to make sure that this is a good leather heart. All right. So if I touch it, I don't really feel a lot of moisture, and I do that for a couple reasons. One is when I trim, this doesn't cave in. And so the inside of my plate doesn't bow up is one of the main reasons. It also allows me to really get nice ribbons of clay. All right. So I'm going to just show you a couple tricks. The first thing you're going to need to do is when you trim a bowl this size, you need a bat this size. So I'm going to take this. This is stiff now, and so I can just pick it up like that. And then here, this bat's a little beat up, but I like to do these on foam bats. That way I don't have to deal with any coils. I can just take my big plate, get it in the right location, and not have to worry about anything. And it's actually quite easy to make. You can get like a little foam mattress thing, just glue it to it, and then create some lines. Probably due for a new one. This one's probably been around for about 20 years. So I carved this out to make my life a little easier. So if I want to find the holes, I just figure it out. Okay, and then I get this nice and set. Okay, so that's actually on there. And I'm going to get my tools so I can see them, and I'll put these guys over here. Now, I kind of pick this guy up like this. I'll get this on the edge. Want to be very careful about handling this for a couple of different reasons. One, I don't want to break it, right? And when I pick it up, if I can pick it up like this, that's the best, because then I'm not messing around with that rim. And when I move it, when I go to center it, I'm going to do the same thing, okay? So we got the wheel, we're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and take my finger and that's centered. Usually I have to adjust it, but we're just going to go with it. All right, so I like to trim. Now when I get to these bigger sizes, I like to up the size of my trimming tools. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the bigger one for this. I always like to finish the outside first, okay? Set up the form from the outside, and then I'll work from the inside. So we're just going to go like this. We're going to hold these guys together. And you see how we get these beautiful ribbons just taking it off? See how my hands are all connected? See how my elbows are tucked into my body? All right, and I'm just going to keep working this. All right, we're going to just work this. And these are perfect. And I think I said we started with, what, 40 pounds? I don't even remember. A lot of water weight has gotten out of here, though. So, all right. So water weight is like, when I throw the pot, it's loaded with a lot of water. But as it becomes leather hard, a lot of that water evaporates, and the clay gets a little more stiff. So you just kind of lose all that water. All right. Hearing for sound. Look at that, huh? That's a beautiful leather heart right there. I'm just going to slowly work this guy from the outside. If you notice, I'm starting to articulate that foot as well. Let me tuck this in just a little bit more. Okay. And that's probably pretty good. I don't think I want to take any more off here. All right. And if I want, sometimes I take my metal rib. I just kind of go like this. Okay, just just kind of use it as a little bit of a scraper. I like using this thing for this S12 is what it's called. I think it's actually 9 inches, but I think for some thought it'd be a 12-inch rib, but maybe this is actually an S9. Oh. All right. Okay, we're pretty close. All right. Give it a quick. I don't think I should take any more off. Okay, so now that I've gotten that, I've kind of got my outside shape. You can always rib this, get rid of any nonsense that's maybe on the surface. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on my foot. So, want to articulate this so it's nice and even. All right, just like that. And I'll just take this guy, run this down just a little bit. And now I set my foot up. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and decide on the width of the foot. So I'm going to take this. We'll let the wheel do the work. All right. And that is going to get me right into that category I want to be. Now I'll work this way. All right, so I set my foot up. Foot looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start taking away. All right. And just slowly, when you're working big, you just let that wheel do all the work for you. Okay.
So the tool you're using now, are you using the flat edge of it?
I am using, yeah, so what part of the tool am I using? I'm using that little triangle part, okay? All right, we want this to come down just a little bit. So I'm looking at the outside of this to the inside. All right, and now I'll use the big tool. It covers a little bit more ground. All right. Now we got to be careful. I don't want to push too much here because, again, we don't want this to cave in. So I have to keep an eye on this. Is this making sense, everybody? So far, okay?
And then how do you account for leveling, making sure that everything is the same height, so it's level?
This is the same height?
Yeah, that the foot is, all the same height on all sides, so that when you sit down, it doesn't go.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So how do I know that this really is even, right? So if you notice when I'm trimming, I never touch that. So I make sure when I cut it flat. So I work from the outside, then I work from the inside in. And I don't ever run this over here. If I run this over here, then you're going to get this. So I come from the outside, inside. I never touch that. Okay? Now, the other thing is you got to ask yourself, well, if I want to glaze this area, this may be too high and it might not be able to glaze. So another little trick is you can, this isn't the best. Let me just get a ruler. I like this a little bit better. Let me grab this guy. But this gives me a very good idea what it looks like on the inside. So I'll take this, I'll get down at eye level, and look at that gap. It's perfect, right? So there's that. So I can go about glazing this. It's going to be fine. Okay? And now I'm going to still listen. Nobody likes a heavy bowl, right? So we really want to do a good job of tapping and seeing where we're at. I think we're there though. I don't think I need to go anyplace else with this. So I'm gonna we're just gonna leave that. So I will find my sponge wherever it may be. That's okay. And I want to just soften this, all right? And here's another thing I could do. I'm going to soften this edge, but here's the little trick. I want to put my name here. So I go ahead, I go like that, and I create a little circle, and then I go ahead and put my name here. All right? God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, this one, as long as it's wet. Just an old pen. I'm just using an old pen to write my name. You already know how to use this tool, right? So this is great for doing drawings or whatever else you want. So I just got a pen that doesn't work and it works out perfect. Now here's the one little finishing move. I want to make sure that this isn't sharp. So I always like taking a sponge, adding a little bit of water, and then just softening it. Something I don't have to do until later. All right? And just running my hands. And that is how you trim a large plate. Okay? So there you have it.